Hey there guys, this is Reckles with WTBGold, and today we're doing a head-to-head with a few different guide makers out there to find which Osmenite route is best in Rise of Azshara. But first, it's a new patch, we need to cover all of the mining optimizations. I did a video on this that I'll link here, but here's a rundown. There are three main things you need, and first we're going to talk about the 8.2 specific mining things. So first, get revered with Mechagon and Nazjatar for the Pathfinder Part 2, so you can get flying. That'll help speed you up. For your followers, grab Blade Master Inowari and Vim Breinhardt. Those guys are tanks, and they'll taunt things off you that you accidentally aggro, so you won't get interrupted mid-mining. Next, if you aren't playing on a class with a tank spec, you'll get dazed, which slows you down, so grab Comfortable Riders Barding, the mount equipment. And finally, for the 8.2 stuff, just get rank 3. Once you have rank 1 and have done the introductory What Will It Mine quest, take a Brinestone pickaxe to the cave in the very northwest. The Brinestone's kind of hard to see, but Blizz fixed it at least, so the initial bugginess isn't there. The boss actually spawns a Various. Rank 3 is just an item drop that you turn in back at your home base, so just go out and mine one of these routes. Secondly, you need to find a way to mine while mounted. Druids can kind of avoid this by swapping in and out of travel form, but it is slower because if you're in combat when you enter travel form, you move at 160% until you swap back in and out. So I'd actually recommend mono-hardened stirrups even if you're a druid. They're decently expensive at 400 gold, but Osmenite seams are worth 400 gold each. So if the stirrups help you get one extra Osmenite seam in 2 hours, it's worth it. Finally, you need to cut your cast time for gathering in half. This allows you to gather ore in between enemy auto attacks, so pulling aggro doesn't slow you down. You can get the BFA mining glove enchant for this, but High Mountain Taurens get it passively, and that's what I play. As I mentioned in my best professions video that I'll link here, it's usually better to be a dual gatherer, so you aren't wasting time by going out to the same route twice, once for herbs and then again for ore. So either High Mountain Tauren with the Herbalism glove enchant or a regular Tauren with the mining glove enchant. If I left any optimizations out, leave them down in the comments. Let's help some new farmers get up and running. But let's talk about patch 8.2, and we're gonna start off with a route from WoW Professions. This site's traditionally pretty good, especially if you're a beginner. He knows how to target density, but tends to ignore things like node force spawning. I talked about that a lot in a video that I'll link here. Just linking videos all over the place. Okay, in this route, he says, don't forget to check the caves marked with a red X, but he doesn't say why other than that there's ore inside. So here's why. Mining an Osmenite deposit gets you between 2 and 5 ore, so an average of 3.5 per node. Osmenite seams, though, which are only found in caves, give between 6 and 10 ore each, so an average of 8. That's more than twice the ore per click, which essentially doubles your density. Following this route was pretty good. It gave 376 ore per hour. His second route was really interesting. It ignores the whole area of the first route in case there's competition. And like, I don't like going up to the cave area at the top of this route, but apparently no one else does either because there were always nodes up there. Still, while this route, it's creative and it hits a couple areas with good density, it was pretty trash at 151 ore per hour. And I think that's because it wasn't focusing on seams. Like, looking at the map of Osmenite deposits on Wowhead is fine. But if you make a route that just chains together the seams, my theory is you won't have as much competition and you won't be sacrificing density because you'll still be running by all the deposits. So, to test that out, that's what I did with my next route, and I'm gonna call this the Wowhead just run around route because that's what we're doing. It was interesting. Almost every cave I went to had a seam up. And like, I was hitting all these caves that aren't part of other routes. So maybe it's just a tinfoil hat theory, but I kind of feel like Osmenite seams might be on a separate force spawn from the deposits. What do y'all think? Any of y'all who have done a lot of mining this patch, let me know. This route was a little too big though. We still did pretty well at 362 ore per hour. So let's take a step back and rethink this. If seams are all that matters, let's go ultimate scumbag for this next route, if you want to call it that, we're just gonna sit in a cave that has 2 seam spawns and repeatedly server hop every 20 seconds. To do this, you open up the group finder and you just join one of the like world boss groups, kill Lady Narjaj. I avoid quest groups where there are people that might actually need help. Pretty much if it's a 5-man group, they're not gonna miss me if I'm not actually there. Honestly, I had really high hopes for this. Like, you're creating your own density, but it just didn't deliver at only 246 nodes per hour. Not the worst, but absolutely not the best. So our final route, the one I've been using for my own personal farming, we're gonna take all this that we've learned and combine it into a route that I call Caves for Days. WoW Professions says there are 5 caves, there are actually 9 right here. And I just started it one way in the south, ran cave to cave, and when I hit the last cave, rather than running back in a loop to the start like WoW Professions recommends, I just server hopped and then ran the route backwards. Maximum cave density, and depending on the time of day that I tested it, it got me between 480 and 560 ore per hour. So for the 2019 Osmenite Cup, we've got Want to Buy Gold, Caves for Days at the number 1 spot, /flex. We've got the WoW Professions Route 1 at the number 2 spot, and then like just running around the zone at the number 3 spot. So I hope you learned some stuff about farming Osmenite and that this helped. Final note I'm gonna leave y'all with is get flying as soon as possible. I mentioned it before, but your numbers will be much, much higher when you aren't wasting time running around the zone. Even some of the out-of-the-way caves might be worth grabbing when the flight time is so short. Thank you so much for watching, though. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, or I'm going to come over there. I'm going to faction tag all of your hydras and make all your starfish disappear. So have a great day, guys. Good luck and happy gold making.